everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dance choreographer, dance educator, and dance analyst based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're taking a look at round 6. This is match number 1 between Medical Concierge, imoon, and KOSE 8ROCKS. So this is the round that I'm going to be starting to do things a little different. I'm only for this video going to be looking at the matches and placing my guesses. I will not be watching judges' commentary. This is how I'm going to be pursuing my format moving forward. I know Cypher round's a very different round. We'll cover that when we get there, but this is the last round that is out until I am caught up with the season. So this is what's going to be happening. As a round takes place, as soon as they release the videos, like what we're going to be taking a look at for round 6, we're going to watch them, give our input, and then after all of the matches have concluded and I finished watching them all, I'm going to do one big video going through the judges' commentary and seeing who they voted for and why. So it's going to be a nice little big reveal. It's going to be really fun for me. Super excited about that. And I think without further ado, the best way to get started is to get started. Let's do it.
Just standing in the darkness, disoriented, up, down, right or left. I am darkness, I am light. Just standing in the light. Darkness is light, light is darkness. They know each other well, but never crossed their paths. What's ahead is unknown, yet still standing here now. あなたは闇、あなたは光。
Oh, I love that. That was cool. Yeah, this is really great. I am so glad that they bring in this here, because that's something that I feel like we've not been seeing as much with imoon that I wish we could see, is this level of intensity, this degree, definitely an elevation and complexity as well. That was cool. That they popped off on that. That was cool. Okay, from the top here. Love this. This is great. Real quick, let me do this. Had to go look really quick at the concept. Concept is light and dark. Darkness, contrast. So it's showcasing the beauty between those, but also it's like when you reach out your hand, things like that. It's cool. Like you can't grab it. It's stuff, it's things along that line. So basically the concept is contrast, light and the dark. Yeah. Do I feel like they did that? Absolutely. This was great. And I think the actual costuming really helped with that. Kudos to the hoods staying up. I love the energy. It does give off a lot of that sun energy. That was a nice framing of that. Tiding boom. And I love this little, like, just like not lanky, but definitely a different posture represented. And then she switches through. Tension is being built. And she's keeping it with a lot of rotation, a lot of arms expanded out, building up the tension, usage of the fingers and making it a moment, connecting those palms there. Really nice. Having those that are wearing more darker clothes on the ground with the floor that is very dark as well. Seeing the extension of the skin is actually a really great introduction to seeing that we do have people on the ground. Love it. Bringing it around with that little not ronajam, like of course ronajam with the leg, but like you kind of glide with those hands across the floor. Really like that circular motion. Yep, right there. I love this energy when she does the turn and then we can immediately have this connection. That's really tricky to do if you don't realize that. Making sure that we have the stability and it feels like we're stuck like loop. Versus us having like a little bit of like a stability issue here, and then you know, trying to clock where we are. So that was a very nice moment that we saw there. And then the melt through, then we have the darkness start to infiltrate here. Boom, and then we have all the hands, and she's kind of touching all of them. Great connection. I love the pull right there. It showcases a connection and it promotes the transition. Smart choice. Back in the center, right here. Boom, I love that. Yep, with just one eye, boom. And she goes and brings it around. Then the arms shoot up. Then right there, hair, freaking phenom on that moment. Boom, and just how she drops it. Like I've talked about with a lot of boy groups in the K-pop scene, Fringe can really showcase a lot of technique. Like whenever you're seeing a vibration, Fringe really gives that away. Here, it showcased the depth of her bass that she tried to hit in that percussion with her usage of her body. God, that was so cool. I love the flapping there and the cannon as they drape out to follow her. I love it. Switching through. Now, my question too, we also have to keep in mind judges don't get the front row view like we do. So just because I'm able to pick up on stuff and really appreciate it doesn't mean our judges have that same opportunity. This I know, this I understand. I am more in tune with the concept here, which I am very happy with. Do I adjudicate concepts? No, I adjudicate everything else because other things can be more objective. In concepts, a lot of them stem from what your knowledge base is on your cultural relevancy, if that kind of makes sense. So I feel like that's significantly more subjective based on my training. It's just more, it's a way more subjective category to explore. But I understand why they use it here because some of the groups are such high caliber who executed the concept that they are presenting more effectively. That's more objective, but also it is subjective depending on your knowledge base of the concept itself. We understand light and dark. We understand contrast. We understand those things are more universal principles because even though different parts of the world may experience light and dark in different times or in different, they don't have as much of a balance. Here in this case, like we understand, you know, sun is more yellow and dark is black. So we get that. So I feel like it's, how did they showcase that? They did a great job showcasing. Boom. I love that with the slow motion speed change, and then we created a speed, and then we speed changed once again, slowed it down, back into the line. They did a fantastic job with using A people. I always appreciate it when A people doesn't feel like we're off balance or we're sacrificing numbers or we feel like we're not showcasing symmetry. They're doing a great job of having a 1-point feature, but having an even number represented. I love that shing and the control of everybody looking over to the side and that lunge of energy. Now notice some people are having it really flat and facing the front, and others have it more turned. I mean, it could just be an angle. It feels like everybody's very intentional with their foot position, which I love. And then right there, boom, da-doom, doom. Great syncopation of unison. Doom, doom. Yeah, boom, doom, doom. Right there, dripping it down to a beautiful... I honestly thought it was a ripple, but it feels like we had little partner work moments as we traveled it down the line. So that was really fun. It was very connection heavy, so it felt like we're transferring energy, which I love. Dropping it down. Love that. And great tension exuding out here. Now, I do feel these are just little baby notes. Honestly, I think everyone's doing a pretty good job. I was going to make a note. You know, I will because I'm seeing it here. Some people are placing their weight more on the back foot and some are placing it more on the front foot. So I would say front foot is more accented here. Back foot, I can tell here because of the lack of energy or weight on this foot right here. So my note for this would be just clarifying whenever we're pushing our energy back or forward or wherever you want it to go, and it's supposed to be in unison, just being mindful of where our weight is going to be helpful in getting that energy exactly how you want it to look. It's just going to be cleaner that way. Yeah, in that sense right there. Boom. I love that with the hand pulling you down into another transition. This right here makes sense because I do know the translation talks about, you know, like grabbing to the sky or reaching out, a lot of that. So a lot of that kind of imagery, but I do appreciate that they're making more creative choices in how they're showcasing this, because that was one note I made about their last round performance was we did feel like it was more simplistic, and I think it did work against them. They ended up getting a tie out of it, which I personally was surprised, but you already heard my perspective on that. But I still like the routine, don't get me wrong. Love the opposition of this. I love that my darkness is facing the back, so you really can't see their faces, but you're able to see the content. Now, do I feel like there's a chance that the judges may not be able to see the movement as clearly? Potentially. I'm just going off of context of what they've stated about other costumes like Sega Sammy from their blue outfits, which was their competitor, funnily enough, and Sega Sammy once again with their outfit, they had the benches, and it was, I think it was like a round, what round was it? I think round 2, potentially round 2 or 3. Sega Sammy was against Septini. Yeah, it was the one where I thought that Septini was going to compete a lot better, but I think their costumes really cost them that round, personally. So for me, there is a potential that their costume could cost them, but I'm only going off of assumption of what the judges are going to see, but you can really see this feature very well. So maybe they like that. Yep, I love that here. Ding, ding. And moving it through. That little accent there. I love that tap. And then we have the front walkovers. I love the speed of it because you have that BPM. It feels like the BPM's elevated. We are introducing more percussions, more sounds. So it feels more, like clustered, right? So it feels like there's more going on, and so they can introduce more things, more cannons, more ripples, more action, more levels, and it's going to feel just as digestible as when they were doing more simpler things at the beginning because there's music to justify it. And that's the beauty of music, everyone. I love it. Musicality right there. I love that right there was cool, and I love what happens here. I just love a lot. I love a lot of what's going on in this routine. If you notice, we have this mirror effect taking place, and I love that we have people, you know, framing towards the outside. This is a great way to showcase symmetry, but also a moment. Really great job on commitment from both of them. It's so cool. Cool, and then we have them go opposite, and then we have them switch places. That's cool. And then right here, boom, boom, boom. We have a ripple happening over from stage left. Then the energy, boom, 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 that we travel it over stage right. I love that. And it's basically a cannon, a mirrored cannon. And then right here, they're all leaning down. This moment of leaning away, boom, love it, branching down, and now it's turned into a cannon once again, but our light initiated it instead of our darkness, and I love that choice. Swinging through, it's great. Bleeding back more into the cannon. So that's something that they're doing a lot more of, more cannons. Cannon is, it's not different than a ripple. A cannon is whenever somebody's doing move 1. The next person does move 1 when the first person does move 2, and then so on and so forth. They do move 1, they do 2, they do 3. So it's like a movement. It's a pattern, but it's one person is one movement behind in that pattern. And that's how you get that look where it's structured, but more chaotic. I love it. It's cool. And then right here, boom, nice tension. We drop it down, boom, little tension from the wrist rolls. I love that energy. It's cool. We have a great scene in the house where I could really appreciate this. So I'm a fan of this a lot. They go in, great aerial shot. Woo! I love that. It's cool. Judges don't get that, but we do. The bleed out, the commitment. You got to see the same degree of the upper body with everybody. They go out. Love the sinisterness of the look from them. Boom. That right there. Doom, doom. Going from the back to the front. Doom, doom. Very clean and clear, and it's important that everybody goes when they need to go because it helps us understand exactly what they're going for. We don't want it to feel like, oh, I see what they're going for. It's a, I know exactly what they did, and I love it. You don't want to give people doubt, or you don't want to read potential in these. You want it to read confidence, and I love this here with tutting. That right there, ding, 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 great with the lighting, great lighting shift here. Yeah, boom, do. Did it feel as connected? Not quite there in that moment, but that's a case of I love what they were going for, but it's not the same as how they were hitting that add-on or that boom, boom, those two basses. Then we have our little partner moment happening from the side. Drape, drape, drape. Love with the extension. Super dope. Pulling around the energy. Swinging it through. Dropping it down. Really nice to see. Really very much enjoy that where you have the legs shown here. Our light is still up and up, and then we have more tension, more rigidness, more unrefined movement taking place, happening in the chest with our two joining in, switching through, and then we have boom, 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 syncopated, bringing it back in. Once again, more unified on that front. We switch it out, dropping it down, and that was really cool. Nice pop-up lift moment. Was not expecting that. That is a brilliant example of when you do lifts, you don't want people to expect it. It's a great wow factor. You notice here, they go, she pressed, boom, she lifts down, and then she drops down. They're all moving around nice and chaotic. Once again, love the fact the hood stayed up the whole time. And then right there, it does feel like she escaped. It felt like a little magic trick, and then we leveled it up. Great usage of levels, and then we showcase the contrast of opposition. This was freaking sick. So we're here, she runs away, boom. Just the commitment of the reverbs were really cool. This is what a competitive start. It makes me very excited to see their competitor, KOSE 8ROCKS, because they bring so much foundation, and it's so, like, they're one of the most fascinating groups to watch for myself. So let's go ahead and check them out. my gosh. Welcome to house. Ugh. Wow. Ooh. Okay then. Oh. Oh man. Ah. Ah. That was really like, that was nice. Now here's the thing. I mean, well, first let me go check real quick what their concept was. Okay, I looked. Their concept was, you know, new wave. It was integrating breaking and house, which so clearly seen here. And I think that's a side note I want to mention too. Some people may be like, Jessica, you need to read the concept before watching them. I think the beauty is watching and then reading what the concept is to really see, did it translate on a universal scale? Because I know for me, I know word context, things like that, setting up your concept can always be really helpful, but I also find beauty and joy in being able to understand the construct of a concept without needing to be told. That's the beauty of dance, is speaking a language that's universal, right? So this was, for me, I will say though, like my personal, like as a personal educator and a personal artist myself, I prefer fusion styles, like fusion of fundamentals. For me, I love integrating waving and isolations and animation techniques within a contemporary genre lens. I love that. It feels like it's a bridge between two beautiful cultures and foundations for myself. And being able to very clearly see that here, chef's kiss. And I love the type of track. It was more like a, it definitely had a BPM that catered similarly to breaking and to house. Is a very complementary BPM for them. They had timbres that they could ride with, and I loved that they took advantage of a lot of the subtleties within the timbre and of the sound production to be able to understand the ebb and the flow. It really felt kind of like a wave, like we were riding a wave of speed changes in ways that I feel like KOSE 8ROCKS has definitely made a name for themselves on, you know? So sorry, I accidentally pressed pause versus actually play. So sorry if it felt a little cut out there. This right here, this was so nice. So I do know they have two special performers, and I believe it's the two dancers in the center. There are house dancers. I love it. They turn through. Yeah, really like having one person join in on them, melting through. God, I love this so much. Walking, love the speed change of these slow walks. Melting down. They are framing and complementing, but still being individualized. I love this energy of him promoting forward. Love. It's. This is really nice. You can tell for me, I have a personal preference out of the two. I loved both. Don't get me wrong. If I was an audience member, I would probably pick this one because it caters more towards my personal conviction as an artist of what I strive to do. But we're going to analyze it. The beauty of the musicality here is really nice. My hopes, honestly, like from a personal side, my hopes would be that KOSE 8ROCKS takes a win for this, because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's a great way to describe it. Notice how he took that handstand, and he did a speed change with it to help cater the like the daintiness of the piano. Made it feel very like animated. It was just bringing it through. Love the energy, bringing it through, mixing together top rock energy with sidewalks, with house. It's just switching it through. Great. That right there, doom, 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 dropping it down really nice, doing to a farmer variant, heel digs. Gosh, I love it. So you can tell I'm more familiar with terminology within house and with breaking, but I understand the fundamentals enough of both when it comes to the jack, because a jack is different than a rock and a bounce, so what you would see in breaking a lot of times. So it's really fun to see that integrated within a lot of our breaking, our top rocks, our floor work, our footwork, our power moves. It's just really nice to see. Yep, syncopation. And honestly too, some note that I've talked about sometimes before is when you hear audio or you hear music where they insert very artificial sounds to help justify musicality choices. In this sense, the sound, it's, if you listen to the track in independence, it feels, you know, it feels like we can vibe to it, and you can choose to ride the syncopation. It's not asking you to in that way. A lot of times when you hear music, there's like these obvious interruptions, and it's like glass crashing or water spilling, or you hear very specific interruptions of sounds that kind of feel like it's strange. Like you can't do the dance without dancing to those sounds. Like it feels forced. Like the sounds are here, you better dance to it. In this case, it's the syncopation and the choices of the track are really nice to hear. But no, here's the thing. I'm going off of my personal conviction as an artist. I'm not coming off of anything like scientific, objective, or like literature studied. So please keep that in mind. I'm going off of my personal experience as well. When it comes to this type of track, it does give more of that type of, it's inviting you to do something with it. It's not telling you what to do. Does that make sense? I think that's kind of my difference, and that's my fine line a lot of times when it comes to musicality justification in terms of creativity. It's the music can be fine and you don't have to dance to that part of the music, but you chose to, and you made me hear it so clearly there because you justified it so well. That's good musicality, right? You understood it in essence and in tone and in emotion. Yes, that glass crashing is there. I would have heard it even if you didn't do anything to it and you did something to match the expectation of it. That's an average musicality because I heard it even without you needing to show me to hear it. In this case, they are showing me with their bodies what they want me to listen to. That's the separation of musicality for me. People are different. That's just based off of my scope and what I have researched and studied for myself in growing in the realm of music and dance. So let's get back to the actual dance here. I don't get to talk about this kind of style very often. You don't get to see a fusion like this very often, so I kind of feel like I really want to dive deep into it because it's just, I'm melting. Like this just feels like I'm melting. I love the walks, speed changes once again. Diving through, that was really fun. Love that. I love it here with the switch through. It's nice, it's innovative, it's it's so nice, and just with that the string instruments, it's like and they're choosing to justify it and hold the tension there, and the range of the rotations within their floor work is divine. Having your special dancer go hop back in, they didn't quite hit it in the exact same syncopation, but that's okay. They caught it near the end, right there into the dive. Love the connection from the chest all the way down. Sometimes people are fearful and they kind of clock it in the middle part of the body. They clocked it from the top and will allow that full body to have that moment down with that movement. Love the rotations through. Super fun. Oh, love a little tap tap, bringing it up, bringing it through. Look at the rotation, the usage of the carriage. Oh my God, it's so good. Turning it through. The switches right there was really nice. Great unison for this. Dropping it down, uses of levels. Da 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 da. It's just, this is so good. Yeah, but love a little sidewalk, kind of hop out right there, right here. This is with the right there, da da da, boom, with that hinge rotation. It's gorgeous. Love this right here. Notice with the he goes, and look, he's even innovating how he's doing his freezes. And he's maintaining as he does the rotation, and he keeps the kind of the C jump looking vibe, or and then as he comes up, he maintains the hinge of the body as he's up, and that's what makes it so cool. And then it initiates a rotation with the partner work, and he comes, and then he keeps it going right there. It's so nice. And then he does the back walk over, step out or something similar to that, and then it gets lifted. For me, I wish there was a little tad bit more stability, but the quickness of getting into this was such a surprise, which is something that I loved about imoon's sets. They had a really nice like lift moment in there near the end. That was so nice holding this there. That's my one note, because of that white light, it's so clear if they're moving. So if they held it and maybe added a breath, or they held it so strong, but just think that was so freaking gorgeous. I love that. God, I love this set so much. Ooh, I love this having your features in the center. There's also a chance, like I mentioned, there's a chance that the judges may have comments to say about imoon's clothing, especially because of the dark material, because they've been noticing that sometimes in some of these. And also, I don't know who the judges are for this round, so we'll find out after I watch the whole thing. Or it's either I'm gonna be like super wrong across the board, or I'll be very close, because that's how it's worked sometimes with some of these judges. But with this, it's really nice to see like just the, oh my gosh, words, Jess. My words aren't wording, and I feel like I should know the terminology for some of their movements to truly articulate the beauty of it, and I feel like I'm falling short, so I'm really sorry for that, especially on the breaking side. I do need to do a better job with the vocabulary so I can really be particular about what makes their variant so beautiful. I can only talk about the dynamics for now, so for that, I'm sorry. But I really love the rotation of having your house dancers have their moment, nice loose leg variants, and then having the lower level rotate with their floor work. It's just really nice to see the range. Oof. Is so nice. It's so nice. Like for me, I know that's not a Valdez, but you know, it's like similar in principle to a certain degree, and I love those particular, what are those called? Now it's gonna bother me. Please hold. Okay, I just did like a super mini crash course on just some basic to advanced moves that you're able, you know, that you can just be exposed to, or that you see that exists in the breaking world. Of course, there's many names depending on who taught you, as well as what part of the country, what culture, things like that. So there is a couple notes that I do want to touch back on. I would say one of them, it was the house moment. That was gorgeous. Right there, the lift, once again, that was great. Dropping it down, of course, now you have your house dancers in the center. What they're doing are Zulu spins. That's what I was appreciating. I love those swipes through. See, look, now I feel so much more better. I love the taps to lift those hips up. Really nice. Oh, that for me, now that move right there, I feel I'm still gonna give it more like that Valdez. I mean, somebody did give it a name. Was it a Folha? No, it wasn't a Folha. But like that right there, the dueling into a Zulu spin. That's what I've heard there. Yeah, love a little swipe through. Love that energy. Nice. And then they go over, and it feels like that was how they chose to do a freeze. Yeah, it was a handstand. But notice how they're kind of clocking their leg, like their knee, to tap that elbow. Very impressive, great core strength needed for that, to get the variant down. And then they come up, and then showcasing a different, like showcasing the jack with house, but then showcasing the opposite with the breakers dropping down. Yep, right here, breaking away. Love this energy. Yep, da-da, right here, round up. Back handspring, back handspring, back handspring. Woo! And then he grabs the thighs to rotate it to the front, and then he lands right on beat. So again, right here, going into house. Pushing it through, I love that. Variants with the switch stability checks. Notice when they go kick, kick, they rotate. Hips matter a lot in those, and they did a great job on that, showcasing with our two dancers now. Having one of your house dancers going right here to air flare. Goodness, dropping it down. Woo! Oh, I love that. Doing 3, and it's nice that they're all on the same page. Now this part, I don't know if they're supposed to be unison. It does feel like my guy in the center is supposed to be doing something. It feels like one of two things happen. I feel like she forgot something and then he forgot a big section, but because he's front and center, you could get away with a feature. So that's my one note for this whole little section, is then they finish. That's honestly the only like major issue I saw in this, was this little section right there, and then they finish bringing it up. I absolutely love that. Am I still very new in the realm of, I mean, I can understand beginner, intermediate, and advanced level understanding of the fundamentals given. When it comes to terminology, that's something that I am ever growing in, and I'm always going to be a student of. You do not have to physically, like, I've done breaking. I've learned freezes. I have learned how to do a head spinning on your head. I have learned top rocks. I've learned key elements within to help create your set. I understand the physicality and the physical demand of doing breaking. So I have an empathetic lens to a certain degree of the difficulty of what comes with a lot of their variants. Now, all that to say, that was astronomically beautiful to showcase the blend of house and breaking. They blended the postures beautifully. Was this clean? Not like squeaky clean, not as clean as imoon, but when it comes to the package, I really think they brought a fantastic package of style, creativity through the mesh and the fusion. I think it's something that we cannot discredit at all, and I think that was so beautiful to get to see here. And for me, if I were to pick a winner from like a category side, I feel that KOSE may take more items. When it comes to audience, I think it's a toss-up. When it comes to this type of genre, it can swing either way. It can depend on your fan bases too. The intensity of imoon could be captivating for people to vote for, but also the captivation of their fusion of tricks in this one and their power moves. That's something that you can recognize, and I just love the vibe. Both were awesome. I would be fine with whoever wins. I personally, just like as a person, I hope KOSE 8ROCKS wins this one, because in all, I think this was such a beautiful demonstration of fusion, and I don't want them to be deterred from it if they do not score well. I think style, KOSE may take that creativity. imoon may take it, but also their creativity and their fusion could also, you know what I mean? It's such a toss-up on the items, but I feel like style they're probably gonna take. And the skill, I mean, there was a lot of complexity and polyrhythms in play with imoon, a lot more. But skill, in terms of difficulty, I think they brought a lot of difficulty to some of their stuff because of the variance of the musicality that you don't normally see within breaking. So that's what I'm going to land on. Once again, I'm not going to find out until after I'm done with the round, and then I'm going to do a big reveal for myself. So we'll see what happens. But this was so fun. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you already know who wins this match, please do not tell me in the comments. Please wait until my judges commentary video comes out, because I want to truly really know in that video. But if you have any commentary to share in terms of what you loved about these, because I thought both routines were stellar, and I'm still in a place where, yes, I can appreciate so much of both from a musicality standpoint, but from the terminology and variant standpoint, I'm still very much growing and learning, and I feel like I got to grow a lot as a human by watching both today. So if you're interested in wanting to see me react to these in real time, edit them, and post them, I always do Patreon first, and then they come out on a schedule on YouTube. Very much looking forward to seeing what the rest of the round has to offer, because this is one heck of a good start. Once again, my name is Jess. I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!